And, whoa, look at Magoo. Magoo streaks into the...
Thorpe's got basketballs. They lock handlebars as they go through, but Thorpe's done.
Here comes Bradshaw to the outside of Bayle. He takes over the number 2 position, and Bradshaw is not done.
Looks to be Michel Bayle, number 61 from France, in the lead on the 500cc machine.
And in the practice round, he scorched around the track in the fastest time there, number 61 in front, just a tick under 2 minutes and 8 seconds for the lap. He blitzed the field, and there he is, the 23-year-old from France, Michel Bayle.
Michel's got to be feeling very comfortable about this in the lead. Doesn't have to follow the rooster tails of the other bikes, so he's looking good.
Second place, number 13 there, is Kurt Nickel. Also on a 500cc bike representing Great Britain, but Bayle at the moment opening up a handy little, probably 15 to 20 metre lead.
Yes, I think Michel's going to want to go fairly hard in the first few laps, try to establish a break over the other riders, just in case he has a problem with a fall or the lap rider later in the race. So I think he's going to go quite hard here in the opening laps.
And that's exactly how Michel Bayle raced his first moto, by going very fast early and setting up a good break to put the pressure on all those behind him.
Next year he's going onto the road to race 250cc class. So the last time the international motocross public will see Michel Bayle on the sand. In this race, representing Australia in this first moto, Jason Marshall, number 28, on the Kawasaki 500. And we've got Kim Ashkenazi, a real youngster, 18 years of age, on the Suzuki 125. Now they come now. Billy Lyles there in 4th place, so he's well up there, keeping in mind that America has to try and defend their title here. Also, Jeff Emig coming through on the Yamaha 125.
It was at this point of moto number 1 that the young American Jeff Emig was showing a taste of things to come. Riding in the smaller 125cc class, Emig proved to be a rider of extreme ability by keeping most of the bigger 500cc bikes behind him.
Jeff, how much... Now there goes Michel Bayle. You can see how big a lead there he's got on the second man, Kurt Nickel. Quite a comprehensive lead. The 4th man going through there, Billy Lyles, on the Honda 500 from America. And now a big gap. It'll be interesting to see just how far back Jeff Emig is on the 125cc Yamaha. And in fact, there is Emig there, so he's lying in 6th position overall. No, it's Billy Lyles in actual fact, from the United States. So Billy Lyles on the 500cc Honda, and a great dice here. This would be 2nd versus 3rd, and at the moment it's the British rider Kurt Nickel who's out in front.
Billy Lyles trying every trick in the book to get around Kurt Nickel. You can see that he's riding opposite lines on the track. That's to avoid the rooster tail.
They also lie 2nd and 3rd in the 500cc World Championship for 1992. So they've seen a lot of each other at close quarters throughout the year. And here they're almost shoulder to shoulder. As Jeff mentioned, they take different lines. Lyles went low there, and he's got through.
This is a really backwards and forwards fight here. You can notice the two riders riding different lines on the circuit. Lyles just clearing the vision on his goggles. He's been following Nickel, and there's been a lot of dirt flying up into his face, so he's trying to take this opportunity now that he's got by, clear his vision, and then try and maintain a lead over Kurt Nickel.
Billy Lyles now up in 2nd spot. So a great start for the United States, looking for their 12th successive Motocross des Nations title, because Jeff Emig is leading the 125cc and Billy Lyles currently 2nd on the big bikes, the 500s.
The American team had obviously worked out a very good tactical race. Billy Lyles on the 500cc bike is enjoying a great battle here with the brilliant Englishman Kurt Nickel, but he knew exactly where Jeff Emig was lying on the 125cc machine, so he had to go hard and stay in front of Nickel to try and get the best possible result for his team.
Exceptionally hard.
That was the way it worked out at the finish of this, the first moto.
Billy Lyles finding going a bit tough there. Kurt Nickel is coming up on the inside. They lap a back marker there. Lyles taking the outside of the track again. But Kurt Nickel is certainly within striking distance, only about 3 bike lengths adrift.
Yes, we can see the difference there, Glenn, with the lap rider coming into play there, holding up Lyles, and Nicol was able to close in again on Lyles.
In the straight line there, Lyles trying to urge every bit of speed he can out of his bike.
Notice Billy just taking his hand off right then. Probably his helmet's shaking around a little bit, and he just took his hand off the bars quite casually in the air there and just moved his helmet up into a more comfortable position.
He really is charging the back of the bike, fishtailing around the place. Slowly he is edging away there from Kurt Nicol. But still the race leader, the Frenchman, Michel Bayle. Now Stefan Everts there we saw a glance of, number 6. He is on the 125 Suzuki. And there is Jeff Emig, also on the 125. 28 going through there was Jason Marshall, the Australian. He's riding on the 500cc class. There's Emig. And there is Everts. Gee, it's close here, Jeff. 1 and 2 for the 125cc.
Yes, I think Stefan Everts has put on an incredible charge. He was quite far back early in the race and has really made some ground up on Emig.
125cc class, and there is the man that's leading the 500cc class, and the man that has the rest of the field behind him, Michel Bayle.
Well, looks like Jean-Michel's already got some lap riders to contend with.
That's Philippe de Pasquier there from France, number 54. And we see how effortlessly there Michel Bayle just scoots. Michel Bayle, that is an incredible lead, Jeff, for a race of only 30 minutes duration.
It really is amazing. These other riders must be feeling quite frustrated that they haven't been able to hold on to Jean-Michel's pace.
Well, what he did in practice, he's emulated in the big event, because he had the fastest time in the 500cc ahead of the great Belgian rider, the 5-time world champion Georges Jobet, and he was some 3 seconds ahead of him in practice, and he's just continued on blitzing the field when he's come into the main event. See the crowd urging him on there, Michel Bayle. What a great talent. He'll be lost to the world of motocross at the end of this particular event, Motocross des Nations this year. Next year onto the road, where he'll ride in the 250cc class. I believe as yet, Jeff, he hasn't signed up with a team.
No, that's right. Jean-Michel actually rode the French Grand Prix in the 250 class, and he qualified for the final race. He wasn't quite as successful in his first ride as he'd like to have been, but I think Jean-Michel was just feeling it out. But he's very, very keen to move into the road next year.
From Austria, who had to pull out of the race. And there is Kurt Nicol from Great Britain. He is lying second at the moment on the KTM 500 machine. Certainly he is a long, long way adrift of Michel Bayle. There he is, number 61. Look at that number plate. You can tell that he hasn't had riders in front of him almost from the outset. In fact, we saw him get a great jump. Magnificent start in that line of 32 to kick off the opening moto, and he's led from go to woe. And here he comes now, greeted by the checkered flag. So Michel Bayle.